Hey everybody, welcome back to Move It Monday. A little something different this week. About a week ago, I started having some pain in my feet, and I had been neglecting a lot of the stretches that I usually do for my feet. And so I picked up the stretches again and my feet feel fine. And so the moral of the story is our feet are pretty important. And until we actually start to experience some discomfort in our feet, we maybe take them for granted a little bit. Just a little bit. So for me, my life is a lot of on my feet and making sure that my feet feel good and are getting me through my day requires a little TLC. So a couple of things that you'll need. One is I have these great little yoga balls, but you can use a tennis ball, and a couple of face cloths. And I'm going to take you through kind of some of the ways that I show some love to my feet these days. So coming to standing, I'm going to use the yoga ball in the arch of my foot. And I'm just going to, you can put as much weight as you need on this. And so just rolling, it helps if you have some balance, rolling the ball around in the arch and just giving yourself a little bit of a massage there. Now, one of the things that I like to do is come just in front of the heel and bring my toes to the floor and really come into a nice deep press there, and working on the inside edge of the arch is always kind of where my worst pain comes. But move it around in the arch, and of course you're always going to do both sides. So I usually start with this, and this is something that I do, and if you remember back to my Minutes Matter, I have a ball like this underneath my desk, and so when I'm sitting at my desk, oftentimes I will bring myself into some of these stretches. All right, so working into the arches on that one. And the face cloths are kind of, you want to use something that's going to lift your foot. So one is under the heel and one is under the balls of your feet. And all you're going to do is just curl under and arch up on the foot and then lift it the opposite way. So dig under and lift up. Dig under and lift up. And I don't know if you can see this really or not, but basically you're going to do that again, always working both sides. Curl those toes and claw down towards the cloth and then lift up. So curl, and I typically, when I'm doing something like this and I'm into reps, again, I always try to go until I can feel like I've made a bit of a change in how my foot's feeling, but typically around 10 reps. All right, so that's that one. Another one that I like to do is just standing, and if balance is an issue, by all means, do this behind a chair. But I'm going to have you just take all of your weight onto one side, and we're just going to pop the toe here. So we're lifting the heel on that side, and then we're just going to switch over to the other side. And we're just creating a little bit of a toe press here, and back and forth. So again, 10 movements, 10 a side. Make sure the toes are nice and wide on the floor, and just press. All right, so it's the toe that's getting the press here. Your weight's kind of shifting back and forth, but press down into the toe before you switch it back to the other side. Another way that I like to work my feet is coming into those raises. All right, so I'm having a real issue with balance today. So pulling up and lowering down, pulling up and lowering down. All right, so again, you're working your calves here, your ankles are building strength. It's always a good thing. And again, just switch it back and forth. I like to roll my ankles when I'm done with heel raises or calf raises, and just come into that. One that I am kind of struggling a little bit with, these toe abductions. So you're going to push your big toe and your baby toe into the floor, and you're going to lift the center 3. So you're going to kind of pull them up, and I always get the claw hands going on as I try to coordinate this, and then release.
And I can do it fairly decently on one foot. On the other foot, I haven't quite mastered the whole communication of my foot. Oh, there we go. And we're just gonna lower that down and pull it up. What you wanna do is abduct the toes. So lift the toes away from the floor and then release. All right, so that happens a little bit in the face cloth one. If you want to get to where you're really working on some isolating there, big toe and baby toe pressed into the floor, and you can kind of support yourself here and lift the center 3. All right, lower and lift. It's really a tough thing. You're laughing at me, I know you are. So coming into an arch stretch, and I do this oftentimes with my classes. So knees are under our hips. We're gonna hook the toes out back, and we're gonna come to sit on those toes. And I like to come around and just pull my little pinky toe out from under. He likes to curl behind the other toes. So bring yourself into this. If in a class, I will typically have people here for about 10 breaths. All right, so relax into it, soften into it. If you like, you can kind of take your knuckles and run them along the arch of your foot. Kind of helps give it a little bit more depth into that massage. And when I'm done with that, I will flatten out my toes and again come to sit on my heels. So if I were going to work the left side, I'm going to take my left hand and I'm going to reach around and I'm going to lift my left knee. And you're going to feel the most amazing stretch across the top of your foot and into that ankle. All right, and I again, 5-10 breaths. It's pretty intense, so decide, you know, where your stretch is. And again, on the other side, right hand comes back as your kickstand and lift that right knee. And you're getting that nice stretch along the top of your foot and your ankle. So the last stretch that I have started using on my feet is called a toe spread. And you can see this oftentimes with the, when you're getting your toenails painted and they put that little piece in there. That's a great stretch. And so if you have one of those and you want to just put them in while you're watching TV or something, that's great. If you want to build this into your yoga class or your workout class, I take my fingers and I lace them into my toes. And I just create that spread. And I'll just hold that for, 10 breaths or whatever I think it takes to create some change. All right. So lots of ways to show your feet some love. And I can't stress enough how important it is to really look after your feet. They are your base. They are your route to movement. Okay. So show them some love. If you have any questions, by all means, drop me a line. And hopefully there's something in here that doesn't cause you too much pain and you learn to love and incorporate it into your workouts. Move It Monday. See you next week.